Hello, everybody. I'm back, and I am here with another round of Vintage Masters with this really interesting deck I have. And I'm going to keep this because I can go turn 1 Carnophage, turn 2 him, turn 3 Death's Head. Or, murder something if I wanted to. Ah, sweet. Man of War. Alright, so let's see what this guy's doing. Alright, he might be trying to just go straight up Storm. If he is, good for him because we saw a non-zero number of cards that were good for that. Because he's doing Storm, I'm going to wait a turn, and then I'm going to hit him, try to get an extra card or two out of his hand. So I can definitely hit the cards that he needs to Storm off with. So yeah. Let's get in with the Carnophage. Also, I got the Fledgling Djinn, which is always a nice thing to have. So yes, I'll do the thing where I take a bunch of damage, but at the same time, I'll be able to be happy. Alright. Well, I'm going to attack. The issue now becomes... I'm not sure if he's actually Storm. Or if he's just like what I am, which is kind of like stuff.deck. I think I'll just bounce the Sorcerer so he can't filter. Or I could just him and get rid of cards. Yeah, let's just him. Get some cards out of his hand. Aquamoeba and Choice. Okay. Not exactly great cards, but definitely cards. Aquamoeba is good in the Madness deck, but I don't know if he has the ability to do Madness. Yeah, that only works with instants, buddy. Oh, he's getting frisky. Fair enough. Let's see. I think I'm just going to attack with both. He'll probably trade the Scrivener for the Carnophage, and then I'll play the Buzzard. That I can play my own Sorcerer and start getting advantage, but we'll see what he does. If he doesn't block, then I'm definitely playing out the Buzzard. Because if he wants the race, which he might, it would probably be wise for him to race, actually. Well, he's just going to block. I think I'm just going to play out the Buzzard then, because I can just block and 2-for-1 him with it. Let's represent a black. Ooh, nice. He also did well in the draft. Alright, that's annoying, but I can deal with it. I'll just expunge it eventually. He saw through my Death Head Buzzard plan. I mean, I guess I can just kill that and then just hit him for 4. That seems good. And now this gives me the... Yeah, I'll take 2 next turn off of it if he decides to attack with both. but at the same time I can play out things like Mana War to bounce anything that he draws here that's any good. He also can filter it away if it's not good, but yeah, like he chose to do. Another Night Escape Familiar. That's not good against these cards, buddy. I will take one. I think I'm going to play out the Sorcerer and then use Carnophage as something to ditch to it. But at this point, I'm definitely going to start leaving back the Death's Head. Because it can just block one of them and just take out the rest. I don't want to Mana War one of these, so... Because that just makes it so it doesn't die to the Death's Head, because he'll just attack. I just realized I played a 1 toughness thing out, but I guess that's fine. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm an idiot. It's fine. Feel free to cringe. I was like, I'm going to do this so I get rid of all the 1 toughness things. Now I'm going to play something with 1 toughness because card advantage is good. And then I put 2 and 2 together and got a terrible, terrible mistake. But let's cycle the more. Alright, that's not bad. Hit him for 2. And then I'll put lethal on the board with the ability to Mana War and Chainer's Edict next turn. Which means if he plays 2 creatures out, I still get to kill him. So let's see if he has anything. It appears he doesn't. Unless he has some way of dealing 6 to me here. Oh, he's going to tap all of my creatures. What a fiend. No, can't play that out. Alright, I guess I'll just pass. And then I'll take 4 on my upkeep and then kill him. Again, unless he has another turnabout or something like that. Tap target creature. It does untap during its controller's untap step. At the beginning of each upkeep, enchanted player's controller may pay 4 if he does untap that creature. Sure, buddy. Do you have anything else? Because if not, I'm just going to pay 4. Alright. Do you have anything in the top 3 cards of your library that for 3 mana? I'm going to pay for this, regardless. If I hit a land and he plays a creature, I win, because I can still Edict. If not, I'm in a lot of trouble, but I'm not technically dead, because I can just not do the Carnophage. I guess it'll depend on what he plays here, because if he plays something with more than 2 toughness, then I'm probably not going to play or do the Djinn thing. I'll probably just use the Mana War to bounce the Djinn to my hand, so I stop taking damage from it. Alright, so we put everything back on his deck and everything. And he has a Psychotog, which is super bad. That's because that's a lot of cards in his library, or in his graveyard. If only I knew what I was drawing. If I pay the 4 and I hit a land, I win. If I pay the 4 and I don't hit a land, I lose. Actually, that's not true. I can leave Carnophage back as a chump blocker and hit him for... So I take 2 damage, hit him for 2 in the air, he attacks with Psychotog, I block. Then I take 2 damage, hit him, yeah. So I think I'm paying for 4, because I'm not just dead if I don't. And before to do this. Okay. Yes. Land, please. Just make my life easy. You are most certainly not a land, sir. And now I have to fear him being able to kill my Carnophage. Or bounce my Carnophage. But he only has 1 draw step to do it, so we'll see. Oh, he has something. Wow. He got there. Man! I'm just getting, like... Oh. Oh, that was a good top deck. That was a great top deck on his part. I think that was the last card of the Brainstorm group, so he knew it was coming too. Or he was the second one, but it was a card in the Brainstorm, so he knew it was coming. Yeah, you got me. Man. Alright, so what do I do against that deck? Which is basically just stuff, it seems. Rescind was probably not terrible. I don't know. That's probably fine. I'll play first. Alright, so we have double Djinn. We have other stuff that we can do. This is probably fine. Not playing a turn on Carnophage seems... It just feels weird, but it's probably fine. So I get to go Djinn to get some pressure on him. And then, depending on what he does, we'll see if we want to Mesmeric Fiend him or not. I think because we get the land, we can do this next turn. So I'm just going to attack and then play out the Buzzard. So this lets us hit him for 4 in the air every turn, which I think is going to be good against him. We also have Expunge available next turn if we need to use it, if you play something really powerful. But we can also just go Djinn and Fiend. Alright. So this guy's, decent at Magic enough. He knew to tap the extra land to make a mana, because he has the Nightscape Familiar. So now, is he going to try to storm off? No. He's just going to play a flyer, which is super annoying, but, I can just kill it. Actually, I'll probably just attack with the Buzzard. Try to get a 2-for-1 out of it, if I can. If he blocks, yeah, whatever. If not, I'll just expunge at the end of turn, I guess. Alternatively, I attack with both, but this way if he blocks, I get I think I'll just attack with both and then expunge it right now and deal him 4, rather than giving him the option of blocking. He seems like he knows what he's doing. Because he probably would have just taken the 2 and then I would have been upset. Because I wouldn't have been able to get any value off of the Djinn for a turn. And the Djinn does ask that you continuously get value off of it. Huh. Well, that's annoying. I was kind of hoping to get a Psychotog out of his hand if I could, but this works, I guess. It's also black, so I can't expunge it, which is also annoying. Let's play out the Fiend, see what he has in his hand. It also, no, it doesn't change anything. Oh, God. Oh, God. What are you doing, sir? You fiend. Also, well, both these cards actually work extremely well with it. I think I just don't want him to have Necropotence, though. Like, I can expunge the Sorcerer. Necropotence I just can't deal with. Yeah, playing out the Djinn does speed up the clock by a turn. And I still have the opportunity to expunge the Sorcerer before it gets to do anything. But it was just Sorcerer land that he had. God, that is ugly. I like the old one better. That stupid smile. Alright, he can pump it once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times. So he can do 6, 7 damage to me. And then I kill him in 2 turns. Yeah, I'm fine with that. If he wants to go all in on the Psychotog. Yep. So he's just gonna do the 3. 4. So there's the land. Oh, and the Sorcerer, apparently. I'm assuming at this point he's just all in on doing the 6. Yep. Yeah, the Rescind is definitely coming in. I think this is a different Psychotog than the first one. I think the first one wasn't foil. I think I can actually tell if I scroll all the way up to the last game. Yeah, because that one wasn't foil. If Torture gets more votes, each opponent loses 4 life. Alright, so I'm going to take Torture then. Oh, apparently he just assumes that Torture is going to get the vote. Sure, we'll go with Torture. It's going to win anyways. He has no cards in hand now. He can pump this twice by discarding and then exiling next turn. So I go to 3. So I attack with everything. Put him to 3. want to be able to Mana War and have up Expunge, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm just going to Mana War, bounce the Psychotog. That way I don't have to worry about it killing me next turn. I only have 2 things that deal damage to me, so I'll just block the Nightscape Familiar and I'll be fine. If he has any other way of dealing damage to me, though, I just lose. The right play was probably, maybe it was bouncing a Djinn. The right play might have been bouncing a Djinn. That way I only take 1 damage. I can still block the Mana War on the Psychotog just fine. Alright, now he's going to see if I'm good at Magic. Alright, he's not going to see if I'm good at Magic. If he has a way of dealing damage to me, he should have just done it then. Alright, I'm at 1. Is there like a fog or something? Turnabout? I think that's double blue, isn't it? Is he just faking me out? The old dragon taps? Alright. I was like, I think Turnabout's double blue, isn't it? Alright, we're bringing in Rescind. That's just the fact. Choking Tethers doesn't do anything, though. Yeah, we're definitely bringing in this because being able to watch him do that makes me think to myself, oh, if only I had a way of bouncing it. And Rescind is one of those ways. So what do we want to cut for it? Let's see. What do we want to cut for it? Maybe one of the just random Djinns. Yeah, they're nice and all, but God, I feel like I'm going to do more damage this tournament to myself than to my opponents. Alright, so I have Carnophage, which is fine, I guess. Would I like the mulligan? Nope, I'm on the draw, so I'll probably hit a land fairly early on. This is when I draw like Rescind, and I just feel upset. Good. So I get to go next turn into Carnophage, turn after that, Death's Head, Buzzard, and then hopefully I can have drawn a card by then, and I can just start drawing cards with the Deep Analysis. Alright, double black and a Nightscape Familiar. Should have auto-yielded, but I'll get that next time. Ah, there it is. Always yield, and I will pay a life. Yeah. Just play out the other black source. We've been burned before by running out lands. I only have 1 of in my hand. Alright, then we'll play the Carnophage, we'll pass. Next turn we can Death's Head, turn after that. Depending on what's going on, we can either Su-Chi or do the Deep Analysis and start trying to find stuff. Alright, Cloud of Fairies. It looks like he's trying to have a Storm deck. With like value off of the Nightscape Familiars and the Fairies and stuff like that, but this is a Pauper combo, by the way. It's these two there was a wall of Mnemonic Wall and then the Ghostly Flicker. And if you had those 4 cards out, you could flicker infinite times because you could flicker the fairies to untap 2 lands. And these decks were typically playing posts. So they'd just be toggling posts and they could make infinite colorless mana. And then it just, would get absurd at that point because then they could make other colors of mana and it's just degenerate combos. And then they'd do something like a temporal or something like that where they would just, like what we saw earlier, the Storm card. And then they just bounce all of our lands. And it would make people sad. I am going to attack, even though he will probably regenerate one of his guys. If he wants to double block and regen, that's fine. I'm assuming this will just be a block and regen, though. Yeah. As I suspected. Still haven't drawn the land, but we can draw that next turn. For now, we have a Buzzard, which means he can't attack me. If he does, it'd be foolish, because then I could just wipe his board. And then I can attack for 6 next turn. And you might want to be like, you can probably then go block, block, and 2 for 2. But then I can just play out another Death's Head Buzzard and be fine with it. A lot depends on what he does here, though. Alright. Plays out an Aven. I think with them having out the Aven, I really don't want the Carnophages to be attacking. Because if I attack with everything, he could just not block the Buzzard. And instead, like, eat this and then, just take 2 or take 4. And I think I'd rather just put the Carnophages to sleep for a turn. The alternative is I can just swing with everything again. He'll probably, if he's smart about it, he'll block, block, and then he'll 2 for 2, and then I won't be able to get through that Aven. So would I like to pay 1 life to prevent this? No, no. Hit a land. I think I'm just going to play out Su-Chi and just start beating down with that. Because he can't attack with the Keen Eye Aven, because I'll just block. And then wipe his board. It's that, or I can just Deep Analysis and just draw 2 cards. Do I want to just draw 2 cards? Well, okay. I want to draw 2 cards. That is a fact. The question is, do I want to do it right now? Let's just Su-Chi. Just develop my board more. I can Deep Analysis next turn if I don't have any gas. Boop.
It's Mike Mosley, and I called about a trailer. Already been about a month now.
So what does he do now? He's on 3 mana, but he can cast blue spells that cost 4. He's just going to cycle, and I'm assuming tap down the Death's Head Buzzard, so he can get in for some damage. Fair enough. He might just be cycling to hit a land and doing this for value. I really don't think it's a wise choice for him to attack with the Keen-Eye Aven, though. Because attacking with the Keen-Eye Aven allows me to just swing with everything next turn. But, well, not everything, but lets me at least attack some. Wow. Both of those. Okay. Well, I'm definitely untapping my Carnophages and just bashing in with everything. Probably leaving back the Death's Head, now that I'm thinking about it, because it still is a very good block, but... Alright, so let's get in with some beats. I'm assuming he'll block Su-Chi. No, he's just going to take 8? Wow. This is scary. He's taking 8. Because of that, I'm just going to draw cards. He might have like a famine or something he's trying to get up to. And I'd rather not run into a famine by playing out more cards, especially like a Death's Head. Because if he's going to famine, he's going to wrath the board anyways, except for a Su-Chi. So I'd rather... Oh, even Su-Chi, now that I have the Death's Head out. So I'd rather have something in my hand to reset with. Oh, I got the lands off the top of my deck. That's good. At least I'm digging closer to something good. Alright, so he hit his lands. So if he wants to, he could just... If he attacks with everything, then I know what he's going to do. It's famine, because the only reason he would attack with everything is if he had a Wrath anyways. The alternative is he has nothing, and he just is unsure of what to do right now. But I don't know. So let's see. I'll block like this. Everything dies. Everything gets smaller. If he just attacks with that and that, probably just block the Cloud of Fairies, take the 2 for 1. Because then I can just play out another Death's Head and that deals with that problem again. Then I can just keep attacking with Su-Chi though, even through this. Although I think at that point I'm just fine with sacking Carnophages if it means dealing damage. Another thing could be he's trying to figure out if he can storm off, or how much he can storm off for. He could have like multiple. He could have like Cloud of Fairies, Frantic, any combination of Cloud of Fairies and Frantic Searches, plus Tendrils or Temporal or any number of other things. And he's just trying to figure out, is it worth trying to go off this turn, or should I leave back some stuff and block and deal with stuff? He tapped 3 and it all went to casting a spell. Alright, so he's just going to Fissure for 1. Okay. So he has 1 mana available, and it's not even blue, so he can't do anything with that. I still have lethal. Oh, he's going to Gush. Alright, so he drew a billion cards. But he already played his land for the turn, I thought, right? He can't attack with everything or else he dies. He has to leave at least something back. Alright, he's going to leave back the Familiar for that purpose. Nope. He's attacking with everything. If he does that, he has to have a 1-drop or else he dies. Because I have 8 power. Yeah. That's much more reasonable. Alright, so I'm going to go to 7. And then attack with the team, and then I'm just going to run out the Death's Head. Actually, I might run out both. depending on what I draw, of course. Because if I draw something really good, that like my rescind would be sick right now. I just rescind the Nightscape and then bash in for the win. Unless he has something with the 1 black mana, in which case I would run out the Death's Head Buzzard and probably still have the win, because I can just not untap the Carnophages next turn. So even if he did get in for 3, then it wouldn't be that big of a deal. I just realized how good Gush is with Psychotog. That card is insane with Psychotog. Because like you get 4 cards in your hand and 1 in the graveyard, so that's like 4.5 extra points of damage that you can do. It's kind of crazy. Well, let's see what he wants to do, because he has to do something. I mean, he's got 5 minutes of nothing if he wants to do that, but I don't even know what instants and sorceries there are for 1 black mana. Oh, well, he finally let me have my turn. Alright, well, your things fly and you have to block, so I'm just going to swing with everything. And make you block. I'm assuming he'll block Su-Chi. Yep. So he goes to 4. I think because I drew Expunge, I'm just going to play out the Death's Head again. And that way if he attacks, or if he has some way of doing something crazy, I can have Expunge available. Because he only has 2 creatures out and they're both blue. Alright, he's running out another familiar, which is fine. He tapped his blue to do it, though. Again, if he attacks with both, I'm just blocking with the Death's Head. He doesn't do anything. Do I just kill the Aven now? He only has black mana available, so it's probably just to regenerate that. But if I kill the Aven, I can swing with my team. He'll go block, block. He'll take 2. No, he'll probably go... Yeah, he'll do the thing where he gets it. No, he can't because he has the Sochu. So blocks will be like this. It'll be like this. No, it'll be this and this. And then that's 4. So I just win. Sorry, folks. Sometimes it takes me a while to remember how I win the game. It's by dealing 4 damage to him. And if all of my things do at least 2, I think that means I win here. Unless he has something. I kind of want a pre-combat deep analysis just to make sure that I get it. Like I get whatever I need to kill him. Because I don't know what he could have for 2 black. Oh, nothing. Sweet! I won. Alright. That was a little bit premature from him because I might have got cold feet there and not just gone like all in on it. But I'm happy with the win. That brings me to a total of tickets equal to the cost of admission, which makes me happy because this is the first time Oh my god, I can't believe people still watch this nonsense. That I've broken even in a long time on a draft for the recordings at least. Um, so yeah, so I will see you guys in the finals, quote unquote finals, where I try to make money playing Vintage Masters. Oh, the humanity.